Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Another episode here of a rad a rad power bikes update. I got an email a while ago, but I'm just too busy. The whole coronavirus pandemic. As you can see, it says right up here, COVID-19 update. Learn more about what's we're doing to improve our customer experience. I don't know what they can do. They don't have any stores, but we are in a coronavirus pandemic, so I'm busy. Anyways, I'm here to talk about the new Radwagon 4, the Radwagon 4. If you haven't already heard or know about this, I'm sure you have. Rad Power Bikes already has a video out. I've been a little busy. I happen to own about three Rad Power Bikes. Most of them are the hub drive, the geared hub drive instead of the direct drive. I did make a video about the Radwagon, the older version, um, I think sometime last year, in which I didn't really like the direct drive of the Radwagon. Now, I do think Radwagon has its uses and purposes, and I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about the new design and maybe some other things that what I would do. What if I was going to get this? So let's just get into it here. So, new redesign from head to toe. I like the new design. I actually like the smaller tires. So let's just get into it. First of all, let me just before we get into the Radwagon, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Rad Runner, the Rad Runner Plus, and the Radwagon, and I'm going to try to make some conclusions on how they came up with the idea. I personally think they saw my other video where I took the 20-inch fat tire from the Rad Mini and put them on the Rad Rover and call it the Rover Mini. Um, it does lower the overall height of the bike, so I think they got their wheels turning a little bit. Um, Plus the other video I made about the Radwagon and the direct drive. Direct drive, it's okay. The regenerative braking, in my opinion, is overrated. You hit the wall of the regenerative braking, and then you can't go any faster, even if you're going downhill and all that. A lot of people have made videos about that. Anyways, if you want to buy a bike right now from Rad Power Bikes, they don't have any. Well, no, I take that back. They do have one bike in stock, but all their other bikes are either back ordered, pre-order, and even back ordered and pre-ordered. And then one bike is in stock, and that is the Rad Runner. The Rad Runner is the only bike that is in stock. I wonder why. Look at this. It says here, in stock, right here. In stock. Our warehouse is online and ships next business day. Well, probably, most likely, because it's not a really good seller. And I think one of the reasons why Rad Power Bikes is going to a um, a back order slash pre-order, not only because of the coronavirus pandemic, but because of the Rad Runner, the first iteration, that fiasco. Just a bad design, in my opinion, or bad decision on the leadership of Rad Power Bikes. They came up with this thing, and it was a cool idea, but I don't understand why they try to make it so cheap. And the way they did it, and they really pushed it, and it just didn't. Well, to me, it didn't appeal to me for a couple reasons. They could have done a lot to bring it up to par. And I think they did do that by, let me just get back up here, by offering the Rad Runner Plus. The only problem is the Plus also, not only did they add the front fork, the fenders, the gears, the 7 gears to it. This was a single, the first Rad Runner was a single speed. And then they add the back padded seat and everything, and probably the foot pegs, I'm thinking. But they added, they added the center console. That was the other thing. You couldn't mess with the settings. So with the Rad Runner, you were stuck at that factory setting. With the Radrunner Plus, you got the center console display to change the setting, and so now you can go up to a faster speed, which makes a difference. It really does help. But the Plus is also plus in the price as well. Right now, the Radrunner Plus is the most expensive bike that you can buy on their website, or pre-order or back order, one or the other. Pre-order, back order, and buy. Um, so if you look at all the other bikes, they're all $14.99, $14.99, $14.99. Even this is the Radwagon's $14.99, but that's a pre-order price. But even the older version of the Radwagon was dropped down to $14.99. Now, with this, I don't know why you would get a bump in price other than the seat and the foot pegs. Maybe the light on the new Radrunner Plus, but I don't know. The reason why I purchase, this is me talking, the reason why I purchase a Rad Power Bikes versus all the other bikes out there, the Juice bikes, the Super 73s, the what I don't know. There's so many others. I just two come up in mind. Is basically the price point was the major factor, and some customer service reliability as well. There's plenty of other bikes that are way better than Rad Power Bikes if you're looking for power and everything, or maybe even design, but they're also priced a lot higher. So raising the price on this bike alone just doesn't make any sense, because what's so unique about it? There's nothing unique. They have gears, they have the center console display. The lighting is the only thing different. Most of the bikes now come with fenders now. So what's so great about this bike that demands a higher price? I don't know. I don't know. And in my opinion, it seems like they're going to phase out the Radrunner and this iteration of Radrunner, the first iteration, and just go to this Radrunner Plus. Other than the silver price, I don't know if this is a one-time deal or not, but like I said, they've moved from stocking bikes to back ordering and pre-ordering bikes. And I think that's a business decision, because the Radrunner was probably a big loser for them. They have probably a warehouse full of Radrunners, and they're not moving. So I think they learned a lesson about coming up with an idea and just putting it out there. They should pre-order. You're starting to see a shift in pre-ordering and also back ordering. They'll eventually always have a shipment of bikes to have in stock, but once it sells out, they're taking pre-orders. Before, they wouldn't even take your money. Now they're going to take your money because they want the market share, and that makes a lot of business sense. Anyways, let's go on to the Radwagon real quick, and this is kind of where I'm seeing the evolution of the Radwagon. I mean, it seems to me like if you took the Radrunner Plus, okay, and you combine the old version of the Radwagon, you would get the Radwagon 4, essentially. And the Radrunner, the original Radrunner, if you think about what the original Radrunner was, the original Radrunner was basically the Rad Mini step-through, right? You take out the folding part, you add the rack to it, and essentially the body of the Rad Mini step-through, all right, was essentially the Rad Runner. And that's pretty much what it was. And they got to Radrunner Plus, which added the back seat, the fenders, and they were all fat tires, if you notice that. And I personally like the fat tires. I like the geared hub motor versus the, if you scroll down here, the direct drive motor. Hated the regenerative braking. I don't think the regenerative braking is really worth it, because it really doesn't give back as much as it takes. It seems to take more than to give back. And if I had a choice, would I want regenerative braking? No, I wouldn't, in my opinion. It doesn't. It seems to take away more than it gives back. There's more cons to it than there are pluses, in my opinion. So if you took that evolution and then you essentially got the Radwagon 4, which is right now. And if you look at the Radwagon 4, oh look, I got my halo back. Awesome. So if you look at the Radwagon 4, it seems to be a combination of the old Radwagon, which is somewhat related to the rad cities of bikes because of this direct drive and everything, and the larger tires and everything. But and the swept-back handles, you see the swept-back handles here, and then well, something like that. A rad city for a rad wagon. It was kind of like in that category. But now you're seeing emergence of a fatter tire bike. It's not a 4 inch. I think it's like a 3 inch fat tire bike, but it looks like a fat tire. I think it's 22 inches. The custom size is what kind of concerns me. But the reason I think is because if you made it any lower, the pedals would strike the ground. I did make a video called the Rover Mini, where I put the 20-inch tires on the Rad Rover. That's an issue. You know, when you lower the total height of the wheels, it lowers the whole thing, and the pedals will strike. So I think what they had to do was come up with a custom size for that. But I think it works out. I think it gives it torque. It probably does give it torque. So you're seeing a combination of a Rad Runner Plus combined with the Rad Wagon. And they added the fat tires. They put in the hub gear motor, which would allow them to basically, you could pedal and then you don't feel like you're being constrained by the direct drive of the previous models. And also, I think maybe it gives you more torque. Maybe. But I think it looks nice. Matter of fact, when I look at the Rad Wagon, is it in white? Do they show it in white? Oh yeah, I like the white one, me personally. But they have a limited edition black. So I don't know what's up with their limited edition. I guess if it's limited edition and you can get it for $14.99, it's special. But I prefer the white. Although orange is not too bad. It's not too shabby either. But I prefer white because I'm in the sun a lot, and the white seems to repel heat. Seems to, in my opinion. Like when you touch it, it's not that hot versus black, especially if you're riding in the summer, where I am. Anyways, let's change this to white, or nah, actually change it to orange so I can see it better. So you know, if you look at it, it almost looks like a Rad Runner Plus. And if I was to get it, all right, if I was to buy it, I probably won't, because it's just not the right time for me. We're in a pandemic. People are losing their jobs. Money is tight. I already have 3 bikes. I might actually be selling some of my bikes because they're getting a little old and the battery's wearing down, and I'm having some ghost throttling issues with my Red Mini. But I might be selling some of them, and maybe in a couple more years, I might get something like the Rad Wagon for several reasons. And because it's very similar to the Rad Runner Plus, because I was thinking about getting something like this where I could have my youngest, when she gets older, ride on the back when I take her and pick her up from school. Well, the Rad Runner Plus was ideal, but the price is too high for me. Now this Rad Wagon comes around, and it's essentially, if you think about it, it's a little bit bigger than the Rad Runner Plus. It's very similar to the Rad Runner Plus. The rack is kind of the same concept. Matter of fact, I would even argue if I bought the back seat of the Rad Runner Plus, it would fit on the back of the Rad Wagon. And I would actually have enough room in the back as well to put a basket, as well as the front basket. So I could have both of both worlds. And so let me just click on it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's the price. It's actually going to be $15.99. If it's $15.99, I probably won't be interested. If it's the same price, yes. So you have to do a pre-order. These are all pre-orders. So Radwagon's shifting away from being a in-stock bike to a pre-order and back order bike company. And I think a lot of it has to do because of the pandemic that started in China, and China was shut down for like 2 months. Matter of fact, you won't get this bike until like September. All right, so that's another thing I'm a little worried about, is how long will the bike industry put up with the Chinese labor market being shut down? Especially, in my opinion, I think COVID-19 is going to return back in the fall and winter, and that's in the northern hemisphere. It's already hitting southern hemisphere, like South America, probably parts of Africa and maybe Australia. It's going to hit them hard now. So it's going to be seasonal. So are they going to be shut down again? And how long do you, if you think about it, juice bikes, even though Super 73 doesn't get their bikes from China per se, I think they get them from Taiwan. But if you think about it, anybody who has pre-ordered their bike to this day, and it's, what is it, May? May, we're almost into June. They haven't gotten their bikes, or not that many people have gotten their bikes, I should say. But I haven't seen anyone make a video about getting their bikes. Anyways, so there's an issue with that. So I'm not sure I'm willing to give my money to the Chinese, and not sure if I'm actually going to get a product. You may not, considering there's a lot of tension going on with U.S. and China, and there's a trade war. You actually might see full-out tariffs go on, perhaps even after this election, because there's a lot of problems happening around the world. A lot of people aren't happy with China. Anyways, let's go look at some of these pictures here. Oh, I like that white one. It has a telescoping seat as well. And I think they really geared this toward women. Women are shorter. I guess they take kids with them. The assumption is, in my personal opinion, women, if they had to choose a bike over a car, they'd probably take their kids in a car. So, I think they're stereotyping a little bit. Maybe there is some demands. The videos that I've seen, I don't see any women riding around with their kids going to bikes. I don't see any videos of active YouTubers who are women doing this. There are a few, but I see more men taking their kids, but that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. And there are these little holes here. That's for the caboose and the what do you call it? Deckhand. The deckhand has changed. I like the deckhand. I'm just going to go over through the pictures real quick. They took out the boards here and potential foot pegs in here, or boards if you want. They made that into an option accessory. And oh yeah, hold on. Before I go turn that, there is that geared hub motor instead of the direct drive. Another interesting thing you could do, I'm not saying that I will, I probably won't, but if you wanted to juice this bike up, if you look at where the controller is on the bike right here, you could buy a Bolton, that Bolton controller. I think it's a 35 amp controller. It would fit perfectly, right nice, right in here. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think they're working on a controller which can connect to the rear light. So if you bought this bike, okay, you could potentially juice it up, and this could become a formidable e-bike if you upgrade it to that more powerful controller. Here's that telescoping seat. Again, I think they're gearing it towards, men and women, but they lowered the height, so I think a lot of issues with shorter people riding the Radwagon. Let's just go over the pictures. I do like this this adjustable head tube, or I'm not sure what it's called, the handlebar piece right here. You can adjust it so it can go back or forward. Again, probably adjusting to many different types of riders, male, female, tall and short. And then the throttle is changed a little bit. And there's that fat tire, not quite 4 inches, I think 22 inches by 3 inches, I believe. Overall, really nice. Like I said, you can put a little, change out the controller. That's a perfect spot for a 35 amp hour controller upgrade by Bolton e-bikes or some other company. And yeah, you can turn this this Radwagon into a rad monster. All right, so I'm going to quickly kind of wrap up my video here and just kind of give my conclusions and thoughts. And I'm looking at the bike. I like some of the accessories. I like the foot pegs, or the pegs that you could put on. I think that's nice. I don't really like the deck pad. It looks thin and uncomfortable. I like the deckhand, the new deckhand with the handlebars. It's like looks like a handlebar. I think that's a way better design. So So you look at all the different combinations. I like it. I don't know about the deckhand being on the back of the bike. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't get that. They should have put it like in the middle. If they put the deckhand in the middle, so if you had the option of putting a deckhand in the front and a deckhand in the middle, I think that would have been a better way. I think they missed an opportunity to, you know, design it a little bit better, in my opinion. So I'll go over some of this stuff. Let's go over some of the pictures here. So most of the stuff you'll probably are very familiar with because it's probably a lot of the components from the Rad Rover bikes. But here's some pictures. Like there's that caboose, and you can see it's mounted to the front and the back, and they have mounting areas for that. There's the, what is this thing? What was it called again? Running boards. Okay, yeah, they got the running boards. This is how you would have it maybe set up for younger kids. And here's another thing you could use the Radwagon for, and I think it possibly you could do. Uh, you got the large basket, you got the front rack, the large basket, and the large bag, which I recommend that. I like that setup. But they have a large basket in the middle, and also what is that? The large flat rack. They have a large flat rack or flat whatever, and then you could put the delivery thing on the on the back, the large delivery that's insulated. I don't know if it's insulated. I think it's some kind of Reflectix material. So you can go all out, do something like this, which I think is a good idea, and you can maybe forego the pannier bags. They're not that great in my opinion. The pannier bags that come from Rad Power Bikes, they're not built very well. Great, it looks great, you know, the way it's branded and everything, but I have two, and I wouldn't put more. I only put like clothes in it. That's all I do. I would not put groceries or other stuff in it. It's just too weak in my opinion. Another thing I do like about the Rad wagon is the kickstand that they have, that double kickstand. So you could just sit on your bike and just kick it on your bike, very similar to the Red Runner. Here's the one with the deckhand, and I don't like this seat. What I was thinking is buy the Red Runner seat, the Red Runner passenger seat, and I bet you it fits. I bet you, I guarantee you it probably fits, because if you look at it, if it fits this, the large basket, because the Rad Runner fits a large basket as well. So the holes are probably in a place where you could put the Rad Runner passenger seat. And that's what I would put here. And then on the back, I would put like another basket with a bag, something like this, or maybe even something bigger, possibly. And this little area with the little deckhand like this right here. And it looks like they have a little pad right in the crossbar. I'm not sure if it comes with that or not, but that could be for, you know, a child. You know, I do have plans, but I don't know if I'll go that far. And so something like this, I do plan on doing something like this. My youngest is getting older. If you've seen some of my recent videos where I took her out with the Rewrite Copilot on the Rad Mini Step Through, it fits her now, but as she gets older, it may be that setup may be too big or too small for her. And then again, maybe as she gets older, she may not want me to take her to school on a bike, you know, or maybe she will. Who knows? So I mean, this bike could possibly be something I purchase in the future. Again, mainly because I can do something like this. It has a hub motor. The seat post, I don't know. I'll probably change it out to a suspension seat post. That this area right here seems really low. I don't know if I can use my current suspension seat post with the telescoping. Probably can't. I probably have to replace it completely and use the whole suspension seat post, the NCX Suntour suspension seat post. But you know, we'll have to see. I like to test ride. Adjustable handles I like. The passenger part, I think I would like. I like the kickstand because when I kick it, I can just sit on the bike and just wait. And I could also have the passenger, my youngest, also sit on the bike and wait. And we could just wait somewhere without leaning the bike or being on one side of the kickstand, like the Rad Rover and the Rad Minis. So I do like it. Will I buy it right now? Probably not. We're in a pandemic, and I'm probably not going to spend my stimulus money on a new electric bike. Not right now. But here's what I was talking about. If you bought the passenger seat and put it onto the Radwagon, you essentially, in my opinion, got a Rad Runner plus, if you think about it. If you took, like, because if you look at the back, this has the leg protection, the feet protection, so your feet doesn't go into the spokes. So if you bought the pegs, all right, you got one, two. I don't know if you buy two or four, but there's two spots here for foot pegs. You get the deckhand, okay, and then you buy the passenger seat package. As a matter of fact, if you bought the passenger seat package, you probably already. I don't know if the pegs would work on the Radwagon, but it's worth a shot. But if you buy the passenger seat, put it on the Radwagon, buy the deckhand, and then the pegs, and then you have enough room for an extra whatever on the back. You could put that delivery bag, delivery basket. You could put another basket, a front rack with the large basket. The Radwagon essentially has become the Rad Runner plus plus. And so if I was to get this bike, this is what I would do. I would buy the passenger package from the Rad Runner, which would include the foot pegs, I'm assuming. I would try to use the foot pegs. If they work, awesome. If they don't, that's fine. I would take the seat, put it on the Radwagon. I think this seat looks way more comfortable. And then add the deckhand, and then add something for the back, or buy multiple stuff that I could put on the back. I could change it out depending on what I want to do. Whether I need an extra foot peg, maybe not. I don't know. What would have been nice? This is the one thing I would, I don't know, suggest to Rad Power Bikes is if you can put a deckhand right here in the middle. If there was a way to if they put another bar right there, I know it's just extra material and essentially may not do anything, but if they could put an extra bar right here to attach an extra deckhand in the middle, that would probably be a future redesign upgrade that they can do. That way, if you had two people here, like this, you could have a deckhand for the front person and a deckhand for the person in the back to hold on to, because that other configuration, what was that other configuration? This yeah, if you saw it, says the deckhand on the back. I don't understand that. That makes no sense. It almost seemed in a design perspective retarded. Anyways, I'm going to I'm going to end this video. I hope you all like this, my opinion about the Rad Wagon. The way I would set it up, I would call it the Rad Wagon Plus, because I would put the passenger package of the Rad Runner onto the back seat of the Rad Wagon right here to make it more comfortable. Anyways, please like, share, comment. Let me know what you think of the new bike. Please subscribe. And until next time, everyone, bye-bye.